So when I had set out to do these videos, I wanted to also include some of this deck, but after about this is for the record Chris Anderson's Bant deck from the Star City Open in Cleveland. I believe it's now 2 weeks ago. Um, but it was pretty quickly dismissed, and I kind of want to talk through why. So compared to the Collected Company deck, there's a lot of things going wrong. So the Collected Company deck is partially great because it draws so much action because it's a 26 mana source deck, um, which like a lot of decks in this format go a little higher on, and like you can see something like 26 is the number that Obs on Control has moved to playing now that it cut or after cutting Carried Hit, so it can just draw more action. This deck is 32 mana sources plus coursers. That is a lot of cards that just don't do things. So that's a problem. Another issue is that Den Protector is kind of at an all-time low in this deck. In the early mid-ish game, there's only like 6. The cards that you only have 3 Dramokas command 2 stances and a stroke, so you don't have a lot of cards to recycle. And the cards you do have are kind of conditional, so it's possible you draw like, yeah, I drew my one spell in a Den Protector, but my spell is not even good, so what am I looping? So I wasn't super high on that, whereas like with the Company deck, the fact that Collected Company is just a spell is, I mean, as stupid as it sounds to say, it's pretty huge, because like that's a thing you can loop with Den Protector that's pretty busted to loop and just basically always good. Yeah, I just like wasn't super impressed by it, like just the flow of the games with this deck early. The sideboard is a little better with this deck, I will say that. But that said, I did like the list that ended up making top 8 of the Grand Prix. I featured a Johnny Steadfast that felt like it was doing something actually unique and powerful by giving Dragonlord Ojutai Vigilance. So that's like something actually worth exploring. But it's definitely not the best Den Protector deck. It doesn't have cheap universally good spells like Thoughtseize or universally good spells like Hero's Downfall. To always just rebuy with Den Protector and actually get value, or like Obzon Charm that's always good, that's like the Obzon deck has, and it doesn't have Collecting Company or whatever. So that's something to really consider if you want to build a Den Protector deck. Is you just need a card that you can expend that's just always good, so that Den Protector is always gaining value, and it's not just like a, like sometimes your Fleeceman Lion's just like in play and it's not dead, and you're just like, what is this Den Protector actually doing? So yeah, this deck was not as good as the other deck. I'm definitely a bigger fan of the other Bant list. But the green-white deck was definitely good. I would advise looking into it going forward. And I think that even after the Den Protector Deathmist Raptor Den Protector combo starts getting reacted to a bit strongly, or a bit more strongly, I think that there's a lot more ground to break with Collected Company. I don't know exactly where, but there's just so many good like 3-drop creatures in the format that there has to just be a lot of decks where you just cast it and it wins the game. So with that, I'll see you guys next week, probably moving back to Modern in anticipation of Grand Prix Charlotte coming up. I'm trying to put a lot of work into Grand Prix Providence and Charlotte compared to the last few standard Grand Prix. I've been doing pretty poorly at those. So I have, it's only 15? Jeez, I only have 15 Grand Prix points this season, and 14 of those are limited, and the only constructed one is the one where I just played Treasure Cruise, the Treasure Cruise Legacy GP, very clearly. So yeah, I'm trying to actually put up a good result at those events by putting some time in. I'm catching up on Standard after I took a big break between, I literally did not play any Standard between Pro Tour Honolulu and Grand Prix Miami, which is 5 months, so I needed to put a lot of time into catching up, and I'm getting there. I think I was like pretty on point with the green-white deck. So with more time and the more ability to practice, I'm definitely excited about what I can come up with. And for Modern, I think I just have a very good idea of what I want to be doing, barring massive shifts in the format, which I can't really see happening around now. Anyways, Elvish Mystic is great. I would consider playing it a lot more often than people are in this format. And it's really just a matter of finding the correct cards to support. And Den Protector Deathmist Raptor happens to be a good pair of cards to do that with.